if you lose time to where is it? And where did I put that? I can't find it. It's not you, it's the system. Today, I'm teaching straighten. Straighten your teacher desk, organization in the classroom. This stops lost time and then will extend to your entire classroom. Cupboards, closets, drawers is going to be empowering. Subscribe for the full 6S Classroom Organization series and download my free 9 Ways in Education guide. The link is in the description below. Here's what this problem costs: lost instructional minutes, more behavior outbursts, interruptions, and decision fatigue. If you're constantly answering, where is that? Or where did I put it? Or if you're resetting the room by yourself, the system is making you the bottleneck. Everything depends on you. Let's change that today. By the end of this video, you'll have a simple way to give everything a strategic, purposeful home based on frequency of use and point of use. Your classroom will run smoother with fewer interruptions. Yay! After you sort, you end up with the keep pile. Remember, in sort, you had your 3 piles: keep, giveaway, throwaway. You have all of the giveaway gone, the throwaway is gone, now the keep pile, the good stuff. What do you do with that? Then the $1,000,000 question hits. What do I do with all of this now? Where do I put it? This is a step where a lot of people stall. My husband does a great job at sorting, and then in his office it disintegrates right here because the keep pile doesn't have a home. There aren't individual homes, strategic homes for every item. Straighten is a solution. The motto is simple: find a place for everything and put everything in its place. There it is. Today, we're going to do it strategically based on frequency of use and where it's used so that you stop wasting steps, time, and mental energy. We're going to start with the teacher desk as the command center, not because your whole life lives at the desk, but because it's the best model for straighten. Pick one tool you use daily: stapler, pens, seating chart, subfolder. For daily use items, they should live where your hand naturally reaches. For my pens, for my stapler. Now pick one tool you use occasionally, like a 3-hole punch. Remember, your desk is prime real estate, precious area. That 3-hole punch does not get a lot of use, so it doesn't get your desk real estate. It gets a drawer or a cabinet that's easy to access, maybe my drawer on the right-hand side, but it's out of the traffic. Here's your key rule. Daily use, you think close to the point of use. Where do I use those pens? Where do I use that stapler? If I use it less frequently, it's further from me. You're strategic in where you place your items, how often you use them, and where you use them. Let's focus on the occasional use. They're stored nearby, but out of the way. And rare use. These are farther away, still labeled, but at a distance. It would be my file folders or my green hanging folders. It's going to be my page protectors. I have to physically get up and move to behind my board or file drawer because I rarely have to access those. So there's looking at our desk. Take that same mindset and apply it to your classroom supplies. You simply ask, when do students use this and where do they use it? Are they standing? Are they sitting? Are they turning something in? If students use staplers every day, don't create a bottleneck. You're going to have staplers at every spot in the classroom where they could use them. You're going to have those staplers at the supply station, the 2 places where they turn in work, in the lab, at an activity center. Where do students use the staplers? That's where the staplers live. For me, my students staple when they turn in papers. I have 2 turn-in stations. Guess what? There's a stapler by each station. The students stand at that station, pick up the staple, staple their papers, put it in their file. Done. One touch, no steps, easy, and no friction. Here's the goal. When a student thinks, I need a stapler, the stapler is already there. Woohoo! That's flow, that's straighten, that's strategy. That saves time, saves seconds, saves minutes, so that what? Students can focus on learning. you can focus on teaching. Third, create item families. Straighten gets even easier when you store items as families. If the same items are used together, store them together. Here are some examples. Maybe there's a table caddy with pencils, glue, scissors, stapler, because everyone at the table needs to use those items. For me, you can think of a lab or a demo box. I have certain items that I use with the same demo. I house those in the same box. I have certain items in one lab. I house those in the same storage bin. Common materials for a specific activity. This reduces the scavenger hunt of gathering supplies from all over the room, and you do this year after year after year for that same activity. Store them together. Step 4, you're going to love this. Label the home. Straighten works best when the home is visual for you and students. You just don't have to keep it in your head. Kids don't have to keep it in their head. So label it, outline it, color code it, make it obvious. Here's an example from my lab. I have 3 very sensitive analytical balances that can't be moved without being recalibrated. After several years of telling students, hey, don't move these scales, and of course they would, my husband said, success it, let's label it. So he helped me. We got them calibrated perfectly, and then he took blue tape and he outlined where those scales sit. Guess what? Nobody's moved the scale since then. So your stapler, put tape in a rectangle where the stapler goes. Put tape around the table caddy. The students will easily know visually this is where it goes. Or label things, all of the yellow bins, all of the red bins, and students know yellow bins are for our writing supplies. Red bins are for the paper supplies. Label it clearly, color code it, and you just reduced friction in your classroom. Ultimately, it communicates this is where this belongs, and students can put items back or access items without asking. Step 5, this is the hack that most teachers miss, and I discovered it working with a librarian. Here it is. Leave empty space. I'm going to say it one more time. Leave empty space. It feels a little anti-intuitive. So here's the hack. Don't fill drawers, cabinets, and shelves to the brim. Like a Jenga puzzle. If I put this here and then I move this sideways, then I can slide this over. We don't want them packed. If items only fit in one perfect pattern, only one person can put them away, and you know who that person is. It becomes you. The librarian that helped me discover this principle stored games like the Jenga tower. She could only access and repack the cabinet of games herself. So students would come to her, request games, she would give them to the students, and then the students would bring them back to her, and she had to put all the games away. So what did she do? She had to make this accessible for students. She took half of the games and put them in her back lab. Half of the games remained in the library with empty space. The students could access the games and put the games away themselves. She was no longer the bottleneck. You'll also find as you create empty space in your cupboards and drawers, when you're in a rush and you're moving fast, you can easily put something back. It could even be slightly askew, but that's okay because there's empty space and room. If we have something that is delicately organized and we're in a rush, we'll set it somewhere and not put it back in its strategic home. That's when we start to get a mess and we lose our organization. So remember, leave empty space. Step 6, no temporary spots. The Straighten rule is don't set something down unless you're putting it away. You're putting it in its home. If we don't put something away, that's how clutter becomes permanent. Here's the phrase that I like to remember and that I tell my students. Touch it once and do it right the first time. You put it away where it goes immediately. Don't set anything down unless we put it in its assigned home. When you're putting things away after sorting, don't stop until it has an intentional, purposeful home. Now, step 7, plan, do, check, adjust. Try it, let it marinate, and then adjust. Do your very, very best to assign this is strategically where this item belongs, based on frequency of use and where I use it. But then test it. Maybe you'll discover it needs to be moved to a different spot or adjusted, or it needs tape around it, or it needs to be labeled. That's fine. Try it out. Nothing's 100% permanent. you can adjust based on what adds the most value. A little hint on that, look for friction. When you organize, you've straightened everything. Are there still friction points? That means that there needs to be a tweak. Give it a new home, slightly adjust that home, and then try that out for another 2 weeks. This is not a one and done improvement system. It is a living, evolving, growing. We're adding maximum value. That means we will be flexible if we need to be flexible. So here's your straighten sprint. Number 1, start with one zone. Think your teacher desk, the turn-in area, the supply shelf, your lab station, a rotation station. 2, place items by frequency and point of use. How often are they used by you or your students, and where are they used? If they're used daily, keep them close, where your hand reaches for them. If it's occasional use, they're nearby, and if it's rare use, put them behind the shelf. Number 3, group items by families. If you're using the same items always together, then keep them together. Examples are table caddies, lab demo boxes, station kits, rotation supplies. Number 4, label, outline the home. So make it visual cues. You're using tape, labels, color cues, so students can self-serve. You don't have to get it for them or put it away for them. And number 5, leave empty space. Breathing room so that things can always go back to their assigned home. Make that system super easy to reset for both you and, most importantly, for students. And then number 6, this is the standard for everyone. Touch it once and do it right the first time. There's no temporary spots. I'll put this away later. There is an assigned home. When we use it, we put it back in the assigned home spot. And number 7, adjust. With Plan, Do, Check, Adjust. Try it, observe, and then tweak. This is one piece of a full system. Straighten step 2 gives everything a home. Next week, we're going to talk about scrub, where we clean the space so that the system doesn't break down and it's shiny, beautiful, clean. Download the free 9 Ways in Education guide. It's in the description below. And comment straighten if you're in this process right now. So proud of you. I want to hear what's going on. Looking forward to seeing you next week on Scrub. We're going to keep this system going so it doesn't break down. Remember, do less and get more. It's up here. Lean, think.